Good evening, Hobby World. Thanks for joining us live tonight on episode 63 of Personal Rips and Hobby Chat. Joining me tonight, as always, is Ken from Beans B Card Blog, and I'm Herman, aka 3B Collection. We're here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern to talk about our hobby and yours. Feel free to join in to the conversation and chat. And also, we have joining us tonight is Jenny Miller from SJ Sports Trading Cards now, right?
Yep. I forgot my email that I used for my other account.
You had to switch her Twitter over to the New York account, and it is SJ Sports Trading Cards. That's it. Okay. So what's going on? We know Ken is in some bad weather, so he may stick around for the whole time. He may have to run, but either way, we're keep him in his community in your thoughts and prayers, because it looks like it's been pretty bad there.
Yeah, about 45 minutes from here is a place called Jacksboro. Apparently, tornado took the roof off of the high school gym. Apparently, kids were still there. They were in the hallways. It looks like it might be past us, but there have been a couple other sightings. But knock on wood, all is okay. At one point, it looked like one was coming straight at us, and it never materialized. So I just want to say thanks to Jenny for being willing to come in and pinch hit, since I was literally a game time decision. I mean, I think I made it in at with 2 minutes to go.
Which is fine. That's all good. I mean, that's your family's safety. That's first and foremost there. So, and I did see that video, and that, man, the Jacksboro was like destroyed.
Yeah, there was a lot, and there was at least two places, Jacksboro, and I can't remember what the other one was. Did y'all just hear that thunder?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had a couple, Jacksboro, and I can't remember what the other place was off the top of my head. They've had search and rescues, but they found people so far. So, if you're the praying kind or the good vibes kind, just do that for Texas if you don't mind.
Yep. You said this is like a normal springtime event.
Yeah, I mean it's just springtime. I mean it's there's a song in the genre I use, and I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, but it's just like the chorus starts out, it's tornado time in Texas, and yeah, it's that time of year.
Yep. That's not, tornadoes is the one thing that we have them in our area, but knock on wood, it's not something is nowhere near as devastating as what I've seen in places like Texas and Kansas and even like Alabama a few years ago. They had tornadoes that was just like wiping out whole towns.
Yeah, and I mean, up north it seems to be just a little bit worse. So keep Brad in your thoughts, and Rich. I don't know that up in Rich's area, up in Plano, but I don't think it's all the way through there yet. So just keep those guys. Those are a couple guys off the top of my head that sometimes join in the chat. That
so how far north is Brad from you?
From my understanding, I want to say, like, if I were to drive, I want to say he's like 35, 45 minutes, something like that, to the north.
So not far at all then. Okay.
No, not too far. I mean, it's, I'm kind of in the center of the metro area, maybe a little bit of the south part of it, and then he's up north.
Okay.
But yeah, and then same thing with Rich. He's just further to the east.
Right.
He's north of me. He's northeast of me.
Yeah, we all stay safe. Like I said, if you don't get so distracted that you don't keep an eye on what's going on. If you got to get out, get out.
Yeah, if y'all see my camera go off, don't be alarmed. I'm just going and hiding in the bathroom. Yeah. I mean, we've got the stuff in there. We're prepared. This is not our first rodeo with this.
I've been through one close tornado myself, and of course I was, I want to say 4 or 5 maybe, and I remember my daddy and granddaddy rushing us to the bathroom, throwing us in the bathtub, and him and my granddaddy threw the mattress over us, and we don't know what they did, but it sounded like a freight train coming through the house.
Yeah, I mean, just being it, you want to get to the most center room because one of the biggest issues is windows breaking, glass breaking.
Yep.
Because
I don't know. I never hear anybody say it anymore, but I've always heard that when one's in the area to raise your windows because of
I think that might be because of the pressure.
Yeah, the negative pressure. Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, like we've got the center room in our house that has no windows is the bathroom, which is the case with most houses, I think. So yeah, it's just that's where you want to end up if you can.
Yeah, I've never understood bathrooms with windows.
Yeah, I mean, I guess unless they're on the edge, but yeah, I mean, when I lived in Indiana too, when I lived the last place I lived in Indiana, there was one that I was the idiot outside watching for the tornado, but yeah, it hit like a mile from me, took out a Starbucks. It ended up, it wasn't that bad a one, but I mean, it did some damage.
Right.
That was that would have been the last fall I was there.
Yeah.
Anyway, now we're 10 minutes in and we haven't even started talking about much. We haven't even let Jenny talk.
No, we'll get into the card talk. So what, well, Jenny, I mean, you jumping in here with us, and I know that you kind of expressed that you had some questions for me, but we'll get into that later. But what have you got going on as far as your collection right now? Anything new?
Well, I'm mad at the Twins right now, and I don't want to collect them anymore. But then I got a package of 68 Twins cards in the mail today that I ordered last week. So
why are you mad at the Twins?
Collecting them.
It wouldn't have anything to do about trash cans, would it?
No, it definitely does. The cards should go in the trash can, right? No, I'm just, I know a lot of people are excited that the Twins got Correa, but I don't support it. I mean,
it could be Altuve. I mean,
Well, yeah. I just look at, Pete Rose. I wasn't around there during that time, but what did he do? Bet on his own team?
Yeah.
And he gets banned. And then we got that stuff going on, and we just kind of pushed it under the rug. And
yeah, that's kind of odd. I mean, yeah, and that was the thing I never got about Pete Rose, because he bet on his team to win. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so
that's my understanding.
It's not like he bet on his team to lose and then he threw the game. So. John.
Ben's like, I don't know. I just want to talk
about John, this is. He said, Braves should have signed Morgan Freeman so I could still wear my jersey. And, I've kind of made that comment in this last week. I've never had an authentic Atlanta Braves jersey until this year, and it was a Freeman one, and now he's not even with the Braves. So,
a lot of people actually, that's why they don't like buying jerseys. They like to have the hoodies and the hats and just the team stuff, not the player stuff.
Yeah. But y'all also, how did you feel about the Donaldson trade? I mean, I know I hated that Atlanta got rid of him last year, or not last. Yeah. Well, we had him year before last, and then I got rid of him for last year. But and I understand they had Riley for third base, but I just felt like that. Donaldson brought something to the team that kind of had a little spark to it. But
yeah, I mean, I was super excited when the Twins signed him. And then, if I remember correctly, we got him right before COVID, so then we didn't have much of a season with him. And then with injuries, and we didn't really have a chance. And I think they should have kept him, but to me, I think there's a lot more two players and then just always the stats, just like with Correa. You might have the numbers, but what do you do off the field too?
Yeah.
Who are you as a person?
Yeah. Real quick, I want to go through the chat. And welcome Ed and Diego, Zach. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Mark Hoyle. Welcome, John. I know I'm gonna murder this. The Fatsy.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing on that one.
Right. Well, either way, thanks for joining, guys. But yeah, that Atlanta's made some trades. I mean, I hate that we let Soler go. I don't understand how that. You've got your World Series MVP, and you just let him go the next year to another team because Atlanta hasn't done a whole lot since the lockout ended that's made sense to me, but it is what it is. Oh, John says the only jerseys he buys is Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, I got that. I like that.
I think I'm trying to think. I think we're getting a Jersey Mike's in my hometown now. Pretty soon. It's either that or Firehouse, but I think it's Jersey Mike's.
Firehouse.
So are we going to paint your Freeman jersey blue for you?
Hush. Him, that doesn't change I cannot stand the Dodgers. And if you're watching this and you're a Dodgers fan, I'm sorry, but I just cannot stand the Dodgers.
That's kind of how I felt about that Donaldson trade too. It was like, could he have gone anywhere but the Yankees?
I would have rather Freeman gone to the Yankees than the Dodgers. At least it's an American League team.
Right.
And that's probably my two least favorite teams. Is in the National League is probably the Dodgers, and the American League is probably the Yankees. So.
Well, but you probably like the Yankees a little bit because they tend to always take out the Twins, who Herbeck took you guys out, from my understanding, in the World Series.
Yeah, Herbeck took out Ron Gant on first base, WWE style.
I think you were the one that originally sent me that video.
Yeah, I think I was. But oh man, I you know what? And this is it's not sport car related, but at least it's sports related. But I remember that night that happened. We're sitting in the living room watching that, and I'm like, me and my daddy almost destroyed our living room over that play. Because it was like, oh my God, could you not see? He grabbed the dude and pulls him off first base. But there are people that'll argue that point. He fell off or he got pulled off, whatever. It is what it is. It's 30 years in the past now.
Maybe that's why they're making the bases bigger, or they want to make them bigger.
So you can stay on them. I don't understand that. Why make the what was the point behind making the bases bigger?
The viewers are getting older. You got to see them.
No, but seriously though, it's what's accomplished by making bases bigger? They've been that way for hundreds of years. Why now they need to be bigger?
Right. Yeah, I don't understand that one.
I don't know. Either way.
Okay, as a non-baseball guy that really that has kind of tuned out, but I want to ask if anybody can give me a reason. Why are the players apparently against the electronic or whatever calling of the balls and strikes? Why do they not want that? They always bitch about the umpires, don't they? We argue with umpires. All you hear about is how bad Joe West is, which I'm not saying he wasn't, and Angel Hernandez. I even hear it, and I don't pay attention to baseball. So why the hell do we have an issue with an automatic strike zone? Somebody give me an answer. I plead.
Yeah, you're right.
There's something more to complain about. I don't know.
But
They're a bunch of whiny bitches. That's what they are.
Last year, was it last year when they first started talking about the electronic balls and strikes, or year before last?
I don't know. I just know it was one of the things in this that's apparently the players don't want.
Yeah, but I seen a video. They tried that like in minor league, some of the minor league games, and it was not working because there were several videos I saw where the ball would be like 2 foot off the plate, but they call it a strike. And the umpire wears like a earbud or whatever, and the computer tells him what the ball is, and then he calls it, and he called it a strike, and it's like, what? Angel Hernandez could do better.
Yeah, but what are the statistics? Are they actually more accurate, or are they actually less accurate?
I don't know.
I mean, okay. I mean, I get that it's 2 feet outside, but I mean, I've seen human umpires call 2 feet outside strikes.
Yeah. I don't personally, I don't like it myself. I mean, yeah, umpires miss calls, but I mean, at least if an umpire misses a call, he can realize that, hey, I may have made that mistake and correct himself. A computer ain't gonna correct itself unless a human goes in and does it for him.
How does an umpire correct himself?
Well, if he caught you, it's like, and it happens in football. I don't care who thinks it don't, but if a referee thinks they made a bad call on a team, you wait a couple plays, and he'll give it back.
So 2 wrongs make a right.
Apparently, because it's happened. I've seen it happen.
You know where you don't have to deal with this stupidity? Racing.
I knew you were going to say that. So let's see. Ed says making the bases bigger and the ghost runners are stretching.
Have you opened any of that Formula One racing?
No, I couldn't find any. I've gone out and tried to find some blasters. But speaking of that, this is my 3rd year with Montgomery Club. So I have the first Sapphire. I have 1 box. That was all you could get of the first Sapphire. I think it was either last night or the night before, that the unopened boxes of Sapphire from the first F1 product are now on eBay going for $3,500.
I saw that. And haven't you had that at the card show for sale a few times? And
I took it to the Dallas show like when I wasn't set up and I was going to try to sell it, and I only really tried to one guy. I just didn't. I don't know. It's just something I'm not. I just don't like trying to haggle, or I don't like trying to sell to people that are behind the table. I don't know. It's just something. It's just not comfortable for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, many people could have had that over the years for a lot less than that. So I just thought that was something, because in 30 years of collecting, I've never had an item worth anywhere close to that.
Right. Are you selling now?
I mean, I would if the right offer comes along, but I'm also not willing to put it on eBay and deal with the unknown shady buyers. So I would sell it in person if someone local wanted it or something. But
yeah, I feel like with eBay you could open up risk there with somebody opening the box, not getting a good hit, and then
claiming
it was damaged.
Yeah,
or
exactly. Yeah, there's so much of that crap. Yeah, well, you say F1, you're wrong, but in all fairness, I really don't care about F1, so it doesn't really count. I only buy the cards because they don't have any cards.
You're more of an indie guy, right?
Yeah, I'm into IndyCar. F1 bores. F1 is it's definitely on the boring level with soccer and baseball.
Yeah.
It's just follow the leader. It's the same, 2 to 3 guys that win every race. It's not competitive. It's not that competitive. I enjoyed F1 like in the early 2000s. It was a lot better to me then. But yeah, it's just I don't care. But anyway, all right. I'll let you guys go back to baseball now.
Yeah, I really don't know the difference between F1 and Indy, and
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, I didn't know there was a difference.
I mean, I know the difference between
NASCAR was NASCAR.
Yeah, I know the difference between NASCAR and all the rest of them, but I don't know the difference in.
I mean, the cars are their cars are a lot different, even though they look similar. But I mean, one of the biggest thing is F1 is like a worldwide, global. It races everywhere. It races in a different country almost every race. Right. Is where IndyCar is like an American series. F1 is considered the pinnacle of auto racing. You can agree, you can disagree, but that's where most people want to be. So
I thought NASCAR was the pinnacle. Like
in America, it is, but not in the world.
I mean, you have the IndyCar drivers coming to NASCAR to drive road courses. So
because they're better on road courses, because there are more road courses. But you also have NASCAR drivers that have driven in the Indy 500, so it works both ways. And Jimmy Johnson's running the full season this year. He's in IndyCar full time. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Last year he ran all the road races. He had said he didn't want to do open wheel in on the oval tracks because high speed. It is very dangerous. But he decided this year he's doing the full season. And actually, he had at Texas, would have been yesterday, he had his first oval track race, and he had more miles at that track than any of the drivers in the race because of his NASCAR time. And he easily had his best finish in IndyCar of 6th. So he's going to be – there's a chance that for the Indy 500, he's competitive.
Now, isn't the Indy 500, isn't it run the same time as the – is it the Charlotte race?
So that day, that Sunday, it's the Sunday before Memorial Day. The Monaco Grand Prix of F1 is one of the top races, one of their key races. It runs early in the morning, and then Indy runs starts at either 11 or noon, and then Charlotte. I don't know if it's still the Coca-Cola, but was always the Coca-Cola 600. Their longest race of the year is also they're all three on the same day.
That's the one that ties in with the All-Star and all that, because I know that was the only NASCAR race that me and my daddy ever went to was always in Charlotte, the All-Star, the Coca-Cola 600, and I knew that the Indy 500 always ran because they always announced the winner during the race or before the race or something.
And every once in a while, you'd have a guy try to run both of them.
But it's also is it not the that's the same day like they do the Kentucky Derby, right?
No, Kentucky Derby's a couple weeks before, I believe.
Is it before? Okay.
Yeah, it's a week or two before.
I thought it was. I was thinking it was because I was thinking there was a lot of stuff going on that same day, or maybe
there is in May. There is in May though, yeah.
Because they do the All-Star race the week before, right? Because it's like a whole week worth of racing in Charlotte.
Yeah, the All-Star race is somewhere around there.
Leading up to the Coca-Cola 600.
But I don't follow anymore, and I think they've moved it around, so I can't say with certainty on that. Kind of like I can't speak educationally on baseball. I can't on NASCAR either. I have some top level knowledge, but that's about it. But before everybody leaves the chat, y'all better get back to baseball.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking racing here. John says Indy only makes left turns, and let's see what Diego says.
Yeah, so you know who else makes only left turns? Baseball players running the fucking bases. So shut up.
True.
You jack off.
This is true.
I actually thought about that over the weekend. I came up with that. I'm like, you know what? Those shitheads only run left, so you got no argument. All right.
Jenny's trying to incite something here. She's trying to jump the gun.
I care about the people in our chat. These are our friends, and I don't want to subject them to a bunch of racing talk because I know that they give absolutely zero F's about it.
I
Everybody stayed for the chicken talk, though. So,
But in fairness, I mean, I'm more interested in chickens than I am baseball, so they're probably more interested in chickens than they are racing.
look, it's hatching season. Don't get me talking about chickens right now because I could go on all night. All right.
Hey, Gary, just thought I'd say hey, my buddy Gary. Hope they're safe over there in Arlington. He's in Arlington too. Gary's just a couple miles from me.
Yeah, stay safe.
So, yeah, stay safe.
Keep that family.
Yes, keep that family safe, Gary.
All right, so I guess we'll get into what Jenny's here for. I told you this in text. I mean, I've done a lot of soul searching on whether I wanted to continue with my Freeman collection, my Freeman PC. This last I guess since Wednesday. I have made a decision, and like I said, I soul searching. I went back and thought about why I first started collecting Freeman, which I actually started in 2018. Which I mean, yes, it's only been 4 years. Started it back when I first got back into collecting. My original PC from when I first started collecting in 86, was Dale Murphy. And yes, Dale Murphy eventually was traded to the Phillies and the Rockies. But it was one of those where he was actually traded mid-contract and really didn't have a choice. But even with that, I still never had a Murphy card post Braves until I got back into collecting and realized that Freeman had come back to Atlanta and kind of made roots in Atlanta. So I, like, well, he's still a Brave. But yeah, I wasn't sure about Freeman because I know he is Canadian, but he's from California, the Los Angeles area. So technically he is home now. So who says that he has anything to do with Atlanta post, Dodgers? So I want to read something, and it's going to be, and it's not that long, but you'll have to forgive my reading because I don't have the strongest reading skills.
Freddie Freeman's Canadian?
Yes.
Send his ass to Toronto. I actually did not know that.
Did you not? Okay.
No, I really didn't. Send his ass to Toronto. Man, I'm feisty tonight, aren't I?
What? So, wait a minute. What is Dino's Subs or Dino's Subs? What is that?
Oh, Dino's. Who mentioned Dino's? Oh, Gary mentioned Dino's. Yeah, Dino's. It's just it's a local, it's a local thing. And they do make really good subs.
So
Dino's will just have to go to the Dallas card show next after Madison. Then they can have some Dino's out there.
No. You get me on a plane one time, but I don't think I'll do it again. I don't know yet.
Oh, I see how it is. So your Monday night broadcast partner isn't good enough to come see. I see how it is.
Good God. I mean, well, not that, but I talked to Brad, and he told me how much a ticket was for him to get to Wisconsin. So I'm like, I don't want to go nowhere near Texas on a plane because that'd be my life savings.
That wouldn't be very far of a drive, though, for you, would it?
Huh?
That wouldn't be too terrible of a drive, would it?
Well, San Antonio is 17 hours.
Yeah, I want to say, I would guess it's probably about a 14 to 16 hour drive.
Done that drive once, not doing it again. But it's kind of crazy that John mentioned subs. Let me read this real quick. Like I said, this is what I'm about to read you now is when I had got to kind of searching for or looking for a player to collect once I got back into collecting. This was an article that I read when I was looking into players on Freddie Freeman. And it was the key thing that really kind of got me going into collecting his cards. mainly because he's a big advocate on cancer and helping cancer awareness and whatnot. And being a cancer survivor myself, which I don't think I've ever put that out there, but yeah, I am. It kind of hit home for me. But it says, and this comes from I got this from a website called 3BL Media, which had nothing to do with my 3B collection's choice of names. But anyway, it says painful memories come from rolling back earlier this season when doctors informed slugger Freddie Freeman they had discovered a cancerous mole on his back. The cancer, fortunately, was caught early, successfully removed, and was out of action just 2 days. His mother, Rosemary, however, wasn't so lucky. She had stage 4 melanoma. It took her life 16 years ago when slugger first baseman was still in grade school. Freeman says, my mom took care of herself and still happened. He told Associated Press, from the beginning of his career, Freeman has made a mission of preaching the importance of skincare. He annually partners with the Melanoma Research Foundation to raise awareness about melanoma and highlights the ways people can reduce risk of developing this disease. I don't want anyone to go through the experience my family went through as a result of skin cancer, Freeman said. That is why I am partnering with MRF to help the public better understand the steps they can take to reduce the risk of melanoma for both themselves and their loved ones. Since Freeman spends a great portion of his day outdoors, he makes sure to take sun protection very seriously and constantly encourages his teammates and fans to do the same. He always wears sleeves to cover both of his arms and would like to see it become a trend. So this July, and this article was in 2016, he and MRF teamed up with the Atlanta Braves to host a Freeman Sleeve Day. Each ticket package purchased includes a special pair of arm sleeves, and a portion of each ticket sold went to support MRF. While melanoma awareness and prevention is the closest to Freeman's heart, he also advocates on behalf of all forms of cancer. He previously partnered, and I do remember hearing about this before this, but since he previously partnered with Subway in Atlanta, taking part in a Childhood Cancer Awareness Month fundraiser initiative called Freddie Freeman's Hugs and Subs. The incentive gave customers in North Georgia area the opportunity to make donations to Child Life Zone at Scottish Rites Hospital and receive coupons for future Subway purchases. They also received personalized I Hug Freddie badges. For anybody that knows anything about Freddie Freeman, he was a hugger. So alongside with the work he did for the fight against melanoma and cancer, in his spare time, Freeman also supported the local Atlanta Salvation Army Church, where his family is actively involved. And I won't go on to the rest of it, but that article was what initially kind of turned me toward PC and Freddie Freeman. He was a big advocate on cancer awareness and did a lot to raise money and help fund cancer research facilities. So, yeah. With that being said, I mean, like I said, I went 4 years of hardcore collecting Freddie Freeman, picking up basically, any card and every card. It didn't matter if I had 3 copies, 4 copies, 5 copies. If there was another one available, I would take it. It wasn't like I just had to have just one. I would take any and all. But so that being said, I mean, in some of the other stuff this week, I was like, well, I don't want to collect Freddie Freeman as a Dodger because, I don't like the Dodgers or whatever. But I went back and got to looking at some stuff that, happened in the last few years. A lot of it I had heard and forgot about. A lot of it I didn't know. But in 2020, at the start of COVID, he had agreed to match Matt Ryan, which was is I don't know if you don't know, but he's the Atlanta quarterback, was the Atlanta quarterback up until today. But Matt Ryan donated was it 50 or $100,000 to a couple of charities in Atlanta. One of which was what was it? The Giving Kitchen and the Atlanta Food Bank. So Freddie Freeman matched his $100,000 for it plus added another $25,000 to the Salvation Army. And these were the Giving Kitchen donated a lot of food to and I don't know if it's happened in anybody else's area, but I knew it happened in our area where when the kids were out of school, they still fed the kids even though they weren't in school. They would make, and the reason why I know this is because my mother worked in food service for our local school. They went to school every day, even though school wasn't in. They were doing virtual learning. They went to work every day, prepared lunches for the week, and sent them out to the kids that were on either free or reduced lunch, or otherwise may have not had a way of getting, or I guess a lower income, I guess you'd say. But that's where like the Giving Kitchen, or not the Giving Kitchen, but the food bank, that's where all their money went. And the Giving Kitchen that he donated to supported food service workers, which, like I said, my mother was one of, that may have either lost their jobs or, had some sort of difficulty in their life that prevented them from either making rent payments or utility payments or anything like that. So, and on top of that, there was he continued. He regularly donated items to Harry's Heroes, which was an organization that let's see, what was it? Harry's Heroes would fund nonprofit organizations such as City of Hope, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Ronald McDonald House, Boys and Girls Club, and Meals on Wheels. But he would donate a autographed memorabilia, shoes, gloves, jerseys, whatever, to Charity Buzz Auctions, which is an auction. It's 100% charity based. So outside of a Hall of Fame bound player, he was an all around great player, a great guy. So that like I said, some of that I knew, some of it I didn't up until the last couple of days. So with that, reading that, I'm thinking, Freddie Freeman is, what, 12 year, 11 year, basically 15 years in the Braves organization. And now he's in the Dodgers, with the Dodgers. Most people will look at him as always being a Brave. Some people, from what I've seen, have turned their back as soon as he left Atlanta. So that kind of helped with my decision to go ahead and continue collecting Freddie Freeman.
So does that mean?
Go ahead, Ken.
No, go ahead, Jenny. You're good.
I was just going to say that goes back to kind of what I was saying at the beginning of the show, that to me, it's so much more than just the numbers the players put up. What are they doing off the field?
Right. And that, like I said, that was, like I said, that the first article I read was like my biggest draw to start collecting Freddie Freeman. Outside of the fact that he bats and throws the same way I do. He's right-handed but bats left-handed. So that it was just that was a draw. And then when I went back and got to looking and saw some of that, I'm like, it doesn't matter what he did on the field. What originally drew me to collecting Freddie Freeman was what he did off the field. So whether he's with whether he's with the Braves or he's with the Dodgers or he's with the Yankees or he's with the Astros or whoever he's with, he's still he's still that guy that donated his time and basically his money to help with cancer and such as that. So why would I change now just because he doesn't have a Braves jersey on?
So you'll keep collecting him in Dodgers uniform cards, or are you just going to try to fill in gaps of Braves?
Right now, I'm going to just fill in some holes, and I think that was kind of said on Twitter that somebody thought that might be what I do. And the Dodger uniform will be up in the air until I actually see one.
How long do you think he stays with the Dodgers?
Well, he signed for 6 years, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jenny asked a question I was going to ask was, so did you mean you were going to keep collecting as in, just fill in, just collect the Braves? Were you going to, go forward with Dodgers or knowing that you like flagship and heritage, maybe you only collect the flagship and heritage Dodgers cards?
Right.
I was just, that was exactly my question though was, when you say keep collecting, there's still almost an infinite number of ways to still keep collecting.
Yeah. Well, the reason was like, do I even want to just, I knew I wasn't going to get rid of what I had. But whether I wanted to even go back and fill the holes, I'm like, I don't know, but like I said, but I've got enough holes in my, the Braves Freeman collection that I can fill to, maintain me for probably quite a few years. But
well, I just looked on the trading card database. He has a total of 9,009 different cards as of today.
Mm-hmm.
So you've probably got a few you could find that are new.
Yeah, John says, well, let's see, trading database and the Beckett OPG must be a little different because he says that there's 8,756.
I feel like both of them had that number ready to go.
Probably.
But yeah, so and like we discussed last week, I really feel that a lot of the Brave stuff, you're going to be able to get a little cheaper now. And whether that just be because maybe the Braves collectors aren't collecting it, the Dodgers collectors aren't necessarily interested in most of the Braves cards, and you are going to have some group of Braves fans that are probably going to look to start unloading. So you're probably going to see some stuff available that you hadn't seen in a bit. So, I think kind of the three of those.
I will tell you the one thing I've seen available that's way reasonable right now is Fanatics is selling off their Freddie Freeman Atlanta Braves shirts and jerseys real cheap right now.
Wow, yeah.
Oh Lord, Mark, is this Mark Hall says that Topps now has a card for Freddie Freeman. I'm assuming it's him in a Dodgers uniform. I haven't looked. I don't even know if I want to look. So Dan popped in just in time for the answer that he was looking for.
So now, I didn't follow very closely, and maybe everybody else here did, but Freeman wanted to stay with the Braves. Is that correct? And they just didn't re-sign him.
He had said, and who knows what they really thought. Everybody knows what they said, but it's like Anthopoulos. He's like, he visually was upset that Freeman went to the Dodgers, and I get it. They held back and held back and held back, and Atlanta had to do something to ensure that they had a first baseman. But at the same time, was it Freeman? Was it his agent? who did what. I've heard that his agent said, let us handle it, and he did just that. And I've heard him say that he was shocked when he found out Atlanta traded for Matt Olson, and who knows? I don't know. But I do know that, like I said, and it's kind of crazy that now all of a sudden, from what I'm seeing on like the Atlanta Facebook pages and stuff like that, the number of people that all of a sudden just they never liked Freeman. He who cares about Freeman? It's Olsen now, which I get it. I mean, if you're not a collector, and you're just a Braves fan, once a player's gone, he's gone. In the same ways, the same thing's happening today with Matt Ryan. I mean, everybody talked about how good Matt Ryan could be if he'd have had an offensive line, or if he'd have had receivers, and if he'd have had that. And now that he's gone, everybody's talking about how he never was in any count anyway. So,
if Matt Ryan had receivers, I thought he had some pretty solid receivers.
He had some damn good receivers.
Hey, I just wanted to point out, I don't know if anybody watched the Texas-Cleveland game today. The Rangers beat Cleveland apparently 25-12.
That's a 25-12 baseball.
25?
I mean, it even said in the post, this is not a typo.
Well, I mean, Atlanta put up 21 one game last year.
I don't know. I saw it. I was like, I'll say something.
I like how Tim is researching baseball.
No, it showed up on my Facebook.
Well, I like how he's searching on Facebook while he's live with us.
Have I missed any time you said anything to me? I am a man of many and multiple talents.
Dan want to know if that was a no. He had just popped in, but no, Dan, I've actually decided to continue collecting Freeman. For now, fill in holes, and the Dodger cards will be up for debate later on. I do know that I probably won't go as deep into his cards on in Dodgers, but at least the base cards, maybe. So,
well, you'll have to do the base cards to do set building.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as the PC, I probably will just stick with base.
Yeah.
So
what's going to be
for now? I mean, who knows? I may change my mind later, but I'll never pull for him when they're playing Atlanta. I know that. Because even though I am a Freeman fan, I'm an Atlanta fan first. So
yeah. So what's going to be kind of the first thing you start looking for a Freeman? Do you have most of the base, or you kind of missing like color parallels or a serial number, or what's kind of?
I've pretty much got all his base cards. Most of what I need now would be like parallels and stuff like that. So
somebody informed Dan I'm pretty feisty today, so he better watch what he says.
Yeah. John says I can start my Marcus Mariota collection now, but the thing with that is I'm not a huge NFL fan, and I am far from a Falcons fan.
Yeah, I didn't understand that Marcus Mariota. Is that who the Falcons signed?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even really realize he was
and they thought so much of Matty Ice that they traded him for a 3rd-round pick.
Well, I mean, at this point, if you cannot win a Super Bowl with him, you cannot win a Super Bowl without him.
But now Indianapolis will go win a Super Bowl with Matty Ice.
Well, I doubt it, but I'll after living in Indianapolis for almost a decade, I'll tell you that everyone there thinks he will.
Everybody's saying that he'll be the next Matt Stafford.
You also know what they used to say in Indianapolis? I got told repeatedly how much of an idiot I was because I said Tom Brady was better than Peyton Manning. So, that's the Indianapolis mentality.
Well, the Vikings signed an $84 million quarterback and do a whole lot of nothing.
Well, John, I think that, and I don't want to speak for him, but I think Ken pretty much just follows indie racing.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I watch, I watch some NHL. I watch the Stars.
Right, hockey. Okay, yep.
But yeah,
And
that's
I
pretty
watch.
much about it.
I do.
I mean, seriously, because I've been just into it since I was a kid, and just every game has changed a lot, and it's just not as enjoyable for me for any number of reasons. So,
I guess John decided he's just gonna stay on you tonight.
Hey, John, I highly recommend you don't come to the Dallas Card Show. I got a knuckle sandwich for you if you need some food.
I followed NFL up until the whole until they started getting political. When they started wanting to get into politics, I kind of dropped out. And yeah, I know baseball kind of dipped their toe in it this year with the whole pulling the All-Star game from Atlanta, which Atlanta gave him a what for that. But college football is my football source, and I never have really liked basketball. I followed a little bit when back when Larry Bird and Jordan and all those were playing, Kareem Abdul, but after about the mid '90s, I kind of just quit. I fell out of it.
Yeah, and college football for me used to be a big thing until about 3-4 years ago. But NIL and the fucking transfer portal, I'm so tired of hearing about the I'm just not that into it anymore. I mean, I used to be that guy that followed recruiting. I followed year round. Now, if I'm home and I got nothing better to do and WVU's on, I'll watch.
I'm sorry, I gotta keep showing these. John is on it tonight. And we've lost Ken. I hope it wasn't bad weather. I hope it was John's comment.
John's on it every night, I think, huh?
I love John. He's
always ready with the next comment.
Yep. Oh, me. We got to get.
I don't know what the weather's doing out by Ken, and he's back.
Yep. How is the weather? You good? Yep. No.
I haven't heard any thunder or seen any lightning in probably about half an hour, so I think we're good.
That's good. But yeah, and as far as my basketball knowledge, just go look at my bracket on Bo's March Madness.
Yeah, I'm in 23rd out of 25.
And Herman's 20, and I guess Herman's 24th from what?
I will probably. I have the lowest possible score of anybody in that list, so I'll probably end up 25th.
Gotcha. Well, it's like golf. The lowest score wins, right?
Right. That's what I'm going with. Oh, me.
Yeah, I have no college basketball knowledge. I just thought, hey, it'd be fun.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Basically, I went through and picked the highest
seed.
The highest seed in each one. I picked 1 over 10, and that's just kind of. I think that's kind of how I ended up with Kentucky. I don't know. Not Yale, Kentucky. Went out first round, thank you. But I wasn't the only one. There was 2 others.
SEC.
Right. That was my SEC bias coming out. That's exactly what that was.
It did not mean more to Kentucky.
No, it did not.
Herman's probably the only one.
All I heard this year, during football season was Kentucky was a basketball school. Kentucky was a basketball school. But they ain't no basketball school either. Oh,
couldn't happen to a classier fan base either.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I really don't have a problem with Kentucky fan base, except for the one guy on Twitter.
My issue is more with the SEC fan base, bunch of arrogant jackasses.
Yeah,
well.
I mean,
I finally have got Herman to where he's got no comeback.
I'm not going to even come back on that. I'm just looking at the last 10 years of national championships, even though most of them are Alabama's.
Yep, you got one team every year that's really good, and that makes your conference the best. But anyway,
there's usually a couple, but I will not argue with it on that point because
hey, everyone's giving me hell. Everyone's giving me hell. I got to give you hell.
Yep. You
can't give Jenny hell. Can't give the guests hell.
No, not
That's
Jenny.
not cool. That's not cool.
But so Jenny, why I got you here? You still going to Madison next month, right?
Yep.
I mean, because if I fly up and the only person I get to see is Bo, I'm hoping John can make it because that would be,
I think Zach and Porter maybe. I don't want to say for sure, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to him.
No, they're coming because we've already got a trade lined up for them.
Okay.
So it'd be you and Zach and Porter and then Bo, and if John can make it, I think he was having. I can't remember if he said it was something with his daughters or what it was that may keep him from coming. But am I couch surfing with Bo? I am. I'm staying with Bo that weekend, and or at least I hope I am because that's what he told me. Otherwise, I may be looking for a street bench.
You better hope he gets back from spring training.
Ain't that the truth?
That or you'll be coming to find the Sheraton.
Yeah, I'll find something somewhere.
Yep, yeah. My plan is to get in on Friday, leave Sunday.
That's when I'm coming in on the 29th and leaving on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping he don't renege on me, or I'm hoping I don't make him mad between now and then, and he cuts me off because he's also my ride from the airport. I may be just jumping back on the plane and going back home.
Loved it so much, you jump right back on?
That's right. Let's go back.
I like Diego's. Herman is sleeping on the 5,000 count boxes at Bo's.
John, I wasn't trying to put something on you that wasn't true. I may be mistaken, but I know when I asked you, you said something. You had something going on that weekend, or that could possibly be going on. So I'm not trying to give you kids you ain't got. He says now I got to save up for a wedding. If I've got to, you've got to. I thought I got away with that, having three boys, and then all of a sudden I had a girl. So okay, we've got so far away from sports cars it ain't even funny.
Right. Well, we're still kind of on the topic of sports cars because we're talking about the Madison Card Show.
This is true. And I thought that I actually didn't realize it until yesterday that I'm in a Facebook group with a guy that has been setting up at Bo's show.
Okay.
And he sells all vintage cards.
Is he the guy that's supposed to have all the 72s?
No, it's not the same one. He sells
not one of the same.
No, he's selling wax. And I say vintage, but I say vintage. He sells it's early 80s, early to mid 80s. Some people may consider that vintage, some may not.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring with my box of 70s cards for you to look and see what you might need out of there.
Peeps, no, I don't have every Braves card. Far from it, actually. Especially when it comes to flagship. But like I said, I'm always enjoy Braves cards, whether I've got 1 or 10 of them. So 70s, here we go. My 72 set. I'm hoping to finish when I go to Wisconsin.
John will have to come out to Madison and he can dig through the 3-row 70s box.
We're pushing hard for John to come to Madison. And anybody else that wants to drive up.
We'll talk him into it. I talked you into it.
Yeah, kind of. You and Bo.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose I got to run into town yet tonight. And
All right. Well, I think we're going to end it right here. So, yeah, the Freeman PC continues, and so far, Ken is safe. Hopefully, it continues for the rest of the night. So
far, so
yeah.
good. We still got warnings for a few hours.
Oh, John is looking at flights now. He's going to use some of those freaking flyer miles he's got.
I told you, John will be there.
All right.
Ken will be there. Diego will be there. Dan will be there. George will be there. Everybody's coming.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. And we had to put off the hobby roundtable. We will be going Saturday. We kind of had a family deal where we had all the grandkids this weekend, so we put it off. If you can join, feel free. If not, and you want to join in chat, that's fine too. But we'll see y'all Saturday. And until then, take care. And if you're in Texas, stay safe.
Yes.